Hi, it's Leia here from the Centre of Key, and today I actually want to just share with you my top 10 things to do for really good well-being. I think it's something a lot of us are aspiring towards, having an optimal state of well-being, and it's something I'm really passionate about. And I just want to share with you what my top 10 are. You may find you have a different top 10, but this is what I would like to share with you today. So the first thing is sleep. Sleep is really important, and it's important that we get enough sleep on a regular basis. There's lots of elements to this, and each of these 10 tips I could spend a whole lot of time talking about. So I'm just going to brush over them in this video today and expand on them in future videos down the track. So we all know getting, around 7 to 8 hours sleep a night is really important for us. But not just getting those hours in, but making sure they're good quality hours. So making sure that we're not on our devices late at night before we go to bed. Preferably avoid having any electronic devices in your bedroom, and keeping the blinds down, making it nice and dark, making sure it's not too hot, and focusing on just relaxing and a peaceful night's sleep, which I know doesn't always happen. And we can talk more about that, like I said, in another video. My second tip is to have some morning movement. So once you get up, it's really important to actually do some movement before you even eat anything. And I would even suggest before you even drink anything. If you can, if you're not that thirsty in the morning, try and avoid having some water straight away, because the movement that you do in the morning is going to help burn off the acid in the body. And actually, by drinking water, you're actually just going to dilute any toxins that are coming out after your night of sleep, and redistribute them through your body. So better to do some movement first, and then drink and eat afterwards. So once you've done your movement, the third tip is to actually have a cold shower, or even if you can, jump into the ocean or a river or a creek or a dam if you live near one. So the cold water will just help rebalance the body. It'll help burn the acid off more and neutralize your system. So a really good technique I like to do is just have a really quick cold shower. And I don't mean have a warm shower and then put the cold water on. I actually mean just stepping into a cold shower, and you can rub your body under the stream of water, and it's really great. And then afterwards you can rub yourself with a towel to help exfoliate and really improve your circulation on the peripheral ends, on the periphery of your body. The next thing I'd like to suggest is actually something I learned about fairly recently, the last couple of years, is nasal breathing. Now, we all know that we have to breathe to survive, and if we don't breathe, then obviously bad things happen. But nasal breathing, so breathing in and out through your nose, is actually a really great way to improve your immune system, to ensure that you're breathing well and getting oxygen into your body correctly. The nose filters the air that comes in when you breathe it in. There's nasal hairs, there's mucous membranes, there's nasal nitric oxide that mixes with the oxygen, and that helps it become more absorbable in the blood. So at the very least, breathing in through your nose. If you need to breathe out through your nose, then do so. But if you can also breathe out through your nose and just become aware of that over time, is a really great way to improve your health and well-being. And following on from that is meditation. There's so much out there about meditation, and it doesn't need to be hard, and it's not about not thinking. Meditation is just finding stillness. I mean, there's so many different ways and so many different teachers for meditation. Just experiment. Really experiment, have a play. Think of it as like a playful experience rather than something that you think you need to do to have a good life. I think for me, meditation it's a continual practice. I generally only do about 10 minutes a day. I'd love to do more, but just finding that 10 minutes and committing to that is my sweet spot at this point in time. So you don't need to sit there for hours in silence or stillness. You can even do moving meditation as well. So there's lots of different ways to practice. Explore, have a play, find what works for you. Now, number 6 on my list is pretty big. It's eat mostly plants. If you can eat more plants on a daily basis and avoid eating more animal products, then that is going to actually improve your overall health. Our teeth are designed to eat plant-based foods. We only have the incisors, 2 incisors, and all the rest are sort of grinding and cutting teeth. So plant-based foods, really important. Again, I could talk for hours about plant-based foods, and it's something that I've been passionate about for a long time. So yeah, please think about that. Try and avoid eating too many animal products. Not only is it better for you to avoid eating animal products, it's also better for the environment, of course, and better for the planet in general. Now, number 7, speaking of the planet, is to spend some time in nature. We really need to spend some time outdoors. And if you live in a city, it doesn't matter. You don't have to drive for hours to get to a forest or a beach or somewhere else. You can find nature in your environment, whether that's a tree that's growing in your backyard or down the street in a park, or whether it's just a vacant lot where there's grass and weeds growing. That is still nature. If you spend some time in that space, you'll notice that other creatures are in that space with you, whether that's insects, small animals, even maybe larger animals come and visit. So take some time out and just spend some time in nature, out in the sun, out in the rain, whatever. Like, a lot of us shy away from going outside when it's cold or windy, but we can actually get really reinvigorated from being outside in conditions that aren't optimal. Like, when you come back from a walk and you're just drenched from getting rained on, or, you're windswept and, because the wind's been blowing at you, and that can really invigorate your body and your skin. And I know a lot of us shy away from those things because the wind makes us feel a certain way, and that could be a result of imbalances in your body. Totally understand that. So do what feels comfortable for you, but don't be afraid to challenge yourself as well in the process. Now, number 8, I really love, and that's to have a hobby. Now, a lot of us, we spend a lot of time working, a lot of time looking after our families, socializing perhaps as well. But do we actually have a hobby? Like, what even is a hobby in the 21st century? So find something, maybe it's something you did as a kid and you want to revisit it, or maybe it's something completely new, but explore different ways that you can have fun either on your own or with a friend or with a family member, and experiment again. Find things that you haven't tried before, give them a go. If you don't like them, try something else, but try and stick to something and make time for it on a weekly basis. If you can spend 1 hour a week on your hobby, if not more, then I guarantee you're going to start feeling a lot better as well. And that leads me to number 9, which is positive social interactions. We can have lots of interactions in our life, but they aren't all necessarily going to be positive. And we do need to socialize because we're social creatures. We're just naturally born to be social. We may not like large groups. I'm not a big fan of, going to big parties or large events myself. I'd much rather sit down with a small group, even one-on-one with someone, rather than a large group. I kind of find that intimidating, but some of us love those big groups and all the noise and the chatter and feel comfortable there. So whatever that looks like for you, it's really important to foster some positive social interactions, and it can be structured as well as unstructured. Things to do with like cultural groups or religious groups, they can also be a form of positive social interaction. So try and find some opportunities for those in your life as well. And lastly, point number 10, which is journaling. And, I struggled for years with this idea of writing down my thoughts and feelings and what have you. And, the last few years I've really made an effort, or specifically the last 18 months more so, and just noticed how nice it is just to write something down at the end of the day, or to write something at the start of the day, or even bookend your day with a journaling practice. There's lots of different journaling prompts you could use, and there's lots of different custom-made journals you can actually buy, depending on what you want to get out of your journaling process. But I find using journaling prompts really helpful. I'm not really into just a free-flow writing kind of journal process. I like to have structure to my journaling. So find what works for you, give it a try. You never know. And again, You know, these are my top 10 tips for well-being, but it's all about consistency. We could do one of these things one day and one another day, but if we're not showing up every day with consistency and doing these things on a regular basis, then we're not going to achieve that level of well-being that we really desire. So my challenge for you, maybe don't choose all 10 at once. Start small. Maybe you're already doing one or two of these things. Build on that. Commit to a practice on a daily basis if you can. Track your progress. If you like to have some metrics you can look back on, and maybe keeping a tab of when you're doing things will help you show up more consistently. There's lots of different tools and even apps that you can use for this process. So that's my top 10 tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and share this with your friends and family or anyone you like if you feel they will benefit from this video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.